Well, before your baby learns to walk, they need to be able to get themselves from the floor, either in sitting or in crawling up into standing, and they do this by pulling themselves up into standing. Now, once your baby has learnt this vital skill, they're going to start to play in standing, then move on to cruising along furniture, and then walking. Now there are 3 simple activities that you can do with your little one at home, which is going to help them develop the strength and coordination needed to get themselves up off the floor. So in this video, I'm going to cover what those activities are so that your baby learns the skills to pull themselves up into standing and get one step closer to walking. But before we cover those, make sure you click on the free PDF document in the description box below, which covers the developmental milestones you can be expecting for your little one in their first year of life. This will give you an invaluable peace of mind as you'll know when to be expecting skills and when to be concerned. So how you can encourage your little one to move from the floor into standing is firstly encouraging them to crawl over and kneel at low objects. So you want to place your cushions from the couch on the floor or some toy boxes that are quite low, and encourage your little one to crawl over to them by placing some enticing toys on top, and then they will crawl over to them and place their hands on the cushion or the box and take some weight through their legs. Now, you do want to encourage your little one to crawl over and go into that kneeling position on furniture or cushions rather than you. And that is simply because when they crawl over to us as parents, and they put their hands on our legs, we tend to help them through the movement. So we might help them get into that a kneeling position, or we might pull them completely up into standing. And what that does is essentially stops your little one from having to switch on the muscles required to complete that movement, and they're a bit passive in the movement range. As your child gets stronger in this position, what you want to do is increase the height of the items that they're encouraged to crawl up to and kneel on. And that means that they're taking more weight through their legs. So if lounges are simply too high, so your child won't even put their arms up on the lounge and go into kneeling, you might want to place 2 cushions on the ground on top of each other, and just ensure that they don't move around, and then place that enticing toy onto the cushions, so that your little one will crawl over to them, place their hands on those cushions, and bring themselves up into higher kneeling, while your little one is continuing to get stronger in that high kneeling position. What you want to do is start to help your little one pull up into standing from your lap. So when you're sitting on the floor with your little one, you want to sit directly in front of either a low coffee table or a lounge, and you might need to remove those cushions. So it's at a better height for your little one, and you've placed a toy onto that surface. Now, your little one is sitting on your lap so that their knees and hips are bent, but their feet are flat on the ground and they're positioned behind their knees. Now, as your little one reaches out to grab that toy or to hold on to that piece of furniture, what you want to do is place your hands on either side of their hip, and you want to move their hip forward and up as they straighten their legs and come into standing, and you can keep your hands there to provide them with additional support in standing. You will soon see your little one crawling over to coffee tables and couches, and placing their hands up onto them, trying to pull themselves up into standing. Now, you can help your little one learn this movement by giving them some additional support. So how you would do that is, when your little one crawls over to those surfaces, or if they're not yet crawling, you just place them beside those surfaces, so that they're up and kneeling, and you place their hands onto the couch. If it isn't already there, once their hands are onto the couch or the coffee table, what you want to do is place one of your hands around your child's lower leg. So their calf muscle, and what you want to do with that hand is gently guide to move that leg forward so that they come into half kneeling. Now, when they're in this position, you want to apply downward pressure with that hand that is holding that leg, and then with your other hand, you want to gently push underneath their bottom. So you push in an upwards direction, and that was your little one to go from that half-kneeling position up into standing, and you're giving them that additional support to get through that movement. Your baby, once they learn this movement pattern, will soon be able to develop further strength in this, and then do this movement, pulling themselves up standing all by themselves. Now, try not to be alarmed once your little one has learnt to pull themselves up into standing. They are going to fall down from that position quite a lot, because learning the skill to go smoothly from standing to the floor is actually something that they develop in the coming months. so they will be falling down quite a lot, but it doesn't tend to hurt them at all. Just make sure the environment is relatively safe, that when they do fall, they're not going to hurt themselves. So those are the really simple things that you can do with your little one to teach them the skill to pull themselves up into standing, and get them one step closer to walking. If you want more advice on the stages of walking, then check out this video, and if you want more information on how to teach a little one to walk, then check out this video, and I'll see you next week where I'll share more parenting tips and tricks.